Hi guys, how you doing? My name is Emmanuel and today I will be explaining to you how my MOT license was suspended on the 5th of August. I had VOSA DVSA come down to my place of work where I was subcontracting for an auto center. I'm not going to mention any names because the case at the moment is still under investigation. On the ramp, I had a Dacia Duster, from what I remember. However, the internet connection from the computer was not working at all. Vosa come and asked me, why do I have an Audi logged in? Meanwhile, on the ramp, there is a white Dacia Duster. I explained to Vosa that I haven't even logged the car in because there is no internet connection and I was unable to log the car in. So, whilst he was at the garage, I was told that around 28 fraudulent MOTs within around 9 days, whilst I was working there, has taken place on my account. And at my previous place of work where I subcontracted, over 100 MOTs have taken place on my account. So let's go back a bit now and see where all of this started from. Before I started to subcontract for the auto center up north, I did some independent work for a garage where I've known the guy for years. Every time I used to leave from that place, he used to remove me from the system on exactly the same date as I was leaving. So if we have a look now, I worked from 12th of January to 4th of February. So this is the tester nomination notification that you get, and this is the role removal notification that you get. So 12th of January to 4th of February, then it was 24th of February until the 1st of April, and then it was the 1st of May until the 21st of May. And the last one was the 26th of May until the 14th of July. Now, the problem is, I didn't leave his work on the 14th of July when he removed me. I left on the 4th of June. Because on the 5th of June, I was in Benidorm in Spain, in Alicante, on my holiday. And between the 4th of June and the 27th of July, I haven't even been in the UK at all, and I can prove this from my passport and from all of my flight tickets. So the site manager of the garage, and he's also been the owner of the garage for over 19 years, he should have removed me. I understand that I can remove myself as well. However, on that evening of the 4th of June, which was a Thursday, I took a taxi straight from his place of work to Luton Airport and I was on my flight. It wasn't in my mind that, I should remove myself. And also looking back at the history, up to now, he's removed me and nominated me as a tester on every single day when I used to come and start working for him, on every single day when I used to stop working for him. So the fact that all of these fraudulent MOTs, even though my account was hacked, they could have been stopped simply by removing me on the 4th of June and not leaving me signed in on the 14th of July. On the 14th of July, I got a 31-second phone call, and this was from the owner of the garage. He stated to me, "Hi Manuel, how you doing? Did you log in a BMW by any chance?" I said, "No." I said, "I'm abroad, I'm on holiday." I said, I'm not doing any MOTs. He said, "Okay, no worries. I'll give you a call back soon and I'll contact DVSA." I said, "All right, no worries." Never called me back. He never contacted the DVSA. He removed me straight after that phone call on exactly the same date, he removed me from being a nominated tester on his station. So by the time I logged in to my MOT testing service website, I was unable to see any of the test logs or any of the history, because you can't see it unless you're attached as a tester to that station. I tried ringing him back, he never answered me. I tried ringing the landline, I tried ringing his assistant manager, he never answered me. So I just left things the way they were. So on the 27th of July, I flew into England to do a couple of MOTs for an agency, for an auto centre up north in England. Everything was fine. On the 3rd of August, I had the branch manager from the auto centre come in the morning, and he said to me, right, he said, why are you doing MOTs before 8:30 and after the closing time? He said, you should be doing the MOTs minimum 45 minutes, not just logging them in and out, and a retest should be a minimum of like 15 minutes. So I said to myself, okay, I said, yeah, I apologize for that. I thought maybe he meant couple of minutes before 8:30, because the branch physically opens at 8:30 to the public customers. So yes, I know there were a couple of days where maybe I logged in a car at 8:25 or maybe 8:27. However, if it wasn't brought to my attention that there was cars done at 7 in the morning or 7:30 in the morning on my account, and I'm not a key holder because I used to work there just as an agency tester. 2 days later, on the 5th of August, I get the DVSA VOSA guy come in, and that's when it was brought to my attention that MOTs have been done without the car physically being there. And apparently there were about 28 cars which none of the customers physically attended the branch, and none of them paid for the MOTs. So I did realize a couple of things whilst I was using the computer at the auto center. Firstly, you couldn't shut it down. Secondly, when you was logging in to your MOT website, which is this one, the official government MOT website, and you entered in your user ID and your password, automatically a file in the corner would download. It would have been in a JSON format, or should I say like a JavaScript format, and if you opened it with a notepad, it will show the user ID and it will show the password which you used to log in to your account. Now, in addition to this, there was also a remote access software installed on the computer which you could not close, and it was also running all the time permanently in the background. Number of tests done, number of tests failed, number of tests passed. I've seen it on several occasions where I would do 6 physical cars and then it will show 8, but then a couple of minutes later it will go back to showing 6 physical cars. Whilst I was also working there, I was unable to see any of my test logs. So when you go to your performance dashboard, where it shows you the fail rate and it shows you the number of MOTs that you've done, you failed and you passed, you've got underneath it the test logs. When you was clicking on it, absolutely nothing would happen. So I was unable to see the list of cars with the number plates, the make and model of the car, and if it passed or failed, and the time that I passed or failed. I brought this to the attention of the DVSA and the VOSA guy. Unfortunately, they wouldn't really have it. They believed that I was the one doing fraudulent MOTs, and I was told that my license would be suspended on the spot if I go by saying that my account was hacked. However, if I state that I am aware of every single fraudulent MOT that I've done, my license will not be suspended on the spot until the investigation is finished. Now, the way I'm looking at this is, yes, my account has been hacked and I've got more than enough evidence to prove that. I've even got evidence from the source code that I've managed to gather, and the documents from the computer before it was taken away. So the next day, which was the 6th of August, the emission machine computer, which I was using, it was a Hoffman emission machine, was not owned by the auto center where I worked at, and it was owned by a third-party company that supplied them with the emission machine. That was collected on the Thursday, exactly one day after DVSA DVSA suspended my license. I was told that they will take the computer away and they will investigate the computer and all the files that was on the computer. A week goes by, 2 weeks go by, absolutely no answer. I tried contacting the regional manager, center manager, branch manager from that company to get an update regarding what have they found on the computer, and they said that they are not willing to cooperate with me because apparently it's an internal investigation. I said, okay, I completely agree. It is an internal investigation. However, it is my license at the end of the day. And luckily, I was clever enough to take plenty of videos and plenty of photos before that computer was taken away to prove that yes, it was a corrupted computer and that yes, it was hacked into. At the moment, I've got more than enough evidence to prove that I'm innocent and that I have not done any fraudulent MOTs. I've got all of my flight tickets, my Airbnb accommodations, my Booking.com accommodations, all of my taxi travels. I've also contacted Google and I've got my Google timeline. I've contacted Apple as well to prove where I was at certain times and certain dates. And I'm just waiting at the moment for DVSA VOSA to get back to me with an appointment date and with a location for me to go and have my interview, hopefully with a positive outcome.